he and his brother are a great act, but that Penta himself is a tremendous wrestler, and he showed that against Chad Gable. Honest to goodness, that match was better than I thought it was going to be, because that easily could have been, here's the debut of Penta, it's a squash, 5 minutes, but in this Netflix era, it ended up being a match that we're going to remember in 2025. We got to bookmark that, because Penta comes in, and it's a struggle back and forth between Gable. It shows you how strong Gable is, but just look how I want to give Gable his flowers too, because Gable has wrestled Penta before, as far as you and I are able to wrestle Penta. And then I thought an IC or a point.
Yeah, so I guess that's the question. What do we hold? What do we think is higher? Is it that middle tier, that mid card title, either IC or US title, or tag team championships? Because once his brother gets there, like him and Ray Phoenix, which again we're all assuming Ray Phoenix eventually ends up in WWE. Like I could easily see them having a long run as tag team champions, but. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing with Penta. Like Penta he's had a long run at different times as a singles performer. Like that was the big match for Chris Jericho. When Jericho first wrestled outside of WWE, he did a New Japan, and then Penta had a match at All In Chicago, the first ever, All Out, first All Out in Chicago, where it was the indie show at that point. AEW wasn't even a thing, and then Jericho shows up to promote the match with Penta that he has coming up for New Japan. So that was, Penta had a long run in New Japan, didn't really have that singles run in AEW. Everything was either trios or tag team for the most part, a couple of singles matches here and there. But he can certainly be a mid-tier, a mid-card champion. I don't see him ever elevating at this point in his career, because he is a little bit older. I don't see him elevating ever to WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. Like I don't think he's ever going to achieve that in WWE. But I am curious what happens here. Like I don't know where he goes in WWE. I'm excited for it. Well, I'm hoping that Hunter has a plan for him. But just take a look at somebody else who who recently left AEW and came to WWE. What have we seen out of Andrade? He's wrestled Mello about 1,000 times over on SmackDown, but that's about it. They haven't had a real direction for him over on SmackDown. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen to Penta. But I don't know if they're going to have him tread water, waiting for who knows when Ray Phoenix is going to be able to come. I don't know what truly the plan is for Penta. Although they gave him a huge debut and a huge opportunity on Netflix on Monday.
Yeah, I think Intercontinental Championship or U.S. Championship I think that is proper for Penta. Look, here's the thing you're going to know. You're going to have great matches from Penta. But the thing is that the charisma that we've seen from him in AEW, it transfers to WWE. And by the way, the WWE didn't hide it. Did you notice that before the match that day that the merch was already out on WWE.com? It was all of the merchandise is already out. Now, let me tell you something. If this is AEW, we would be killing AEW for putting the cart before the horse, putting the merch out before the wrestler actually arrives. But WWE says, okay, we're going to let people know. You may not know who Penta is, but here's his merchandise. And when you see him, you're going to want to buy this. But I thought that was interesting.